Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the show where I try to give you a good international analysis of the world to the best of my ability. So this is something I've tried to follow a little bit whenever I can. I don't live in Belarus. I live in the United States of America. I don't know anybody on the ground in Belarus, so I'm only going through media that I can see. If anyone has anyone that would like to be interviewed or would like to talk to me about this stuff, I would appreciate that. But this is pretty bizarre. Belarus. No new election until you kill me, Lukashenko tells jeering factory workers. That's about as much of an admission as anyone would ever possibly need as far as whether or not these elections were rigged, okay? Alright. Authoritarian President Alexander Lukashenko has told citizens they will have to kill him for Belarus to have another election after he was heckled and jeered by factory workers following 26 years of iron rule, as striking workers fed growing mass protests over the allegedly, which, by the way, this is basically admission of guilt, rigged results of the presidential election on 9 August, which entered their ninth straight day. Mr. Lukashenko flew by helicopter to a Minsk factory in a bid to rally support. But he was met by angry workers who booed and chanted for him to go away and step down as exiled opposition candidate Svitlana, I'm so sorry, Sikhanouskaya, I'm so sorry, offered to lead the nation, whom, by the way, was exiled a couple, I want to say maybe a week or so ago. I remember seeing this when a lot of the stuff started breaking. But again, I didn't really know what the hell was going on back then. I know a little bit more, but either way, it's not great. I will never cave into pressure, he told workers at the largely state-run plant, the likes of which are the pride of his Soviet-style economic model and core support base. Some of you might have gotten the impression that the government no longer exists, that it has tumbled down. The government will never collapse. You know me well, the 65-year-old former State Farm director shouted. There will be no new election until you kill me. So also he apparently said, okay, we're going to do some reforms in the Constitution so that you don't kill me. But he's also saying that there's going to be no new election until there is massive change going on. But I wanted to read this part here as well. After two phone calls between Mr. Lukashenko and Vladimir Putin this weekend, the Kremlin said Moscow stood ready to provide support in the face of what he described as a foreign aggression. Mr. Lukashenko also claimed that NATO nations are beefing up the military forces on the border with Belarus, a claim that the alliance rejected, saying it remained vigilant, strictly defensive, and ready to deter any aggression against NATO allies. So this is definitely something, again, that's just absolutely bizarre. I don't know much about this outside of what I'm reading in the media. So again, I'm subject here to a lot of this stuff. I also don't know much about the situation as far as the history of Belarus, though I do know that this guy is not great. I've spoken to a few people in passing, and they've basically just said that this guy is basically kind of been escalating authoritarianism since the 1990s, to my understanding. Now, again, I'm not necessarily, and I'm not even remotely the most intelligent person in the room here, but this is something you should be well aware of, that this is a very authoritarian government, this is a very strict government, and this is a government that is killing protesters. I covered this a little bit ago. The police in this country are literally killing protesters just indiscriminately, just for fun at this point. And this is something that we need to understand, is this is a global civilian uprising in this country. The whole, or not in this country, in this globe, the whole planet right now is rebelling against the capitalist order and the police that uphold it. Okay? You've got protests going on in Palestine. You've got protests in Bolivia that are absolutely wild. You've got protests in Chile, the United States. You've got protests in Mexico, Hong Kong. It's all, you got France, you got the UK, and you've got Belarus. This is a global uprising. Okay, there's a lot going on, and I wish I were more intelligent, and I wish I were more well researched to be able to help guide you through this, but I'm trying my best here. So definitely find more sources if you can. I am never I never want to try to say I am a sole source of information. I'm good for some spice. I'm good for some, maybe some more American centric stuff. But when it comes to more international affairs, if you know anyone that I should maybe start reading, or anyone who's writing a lot of this that, has stuff available for English speakers, let me know. I would appreciate that. But again, this is definitely pretty scary. And solidarity to everyone who's trapped within this authoritarian regime. Again, we're trapped in America over here. People are trapped in where they are, and so forth. It takes a lot of international solidarity to be able to give people the strength and the willpower that they need to get through this stuff. And so if that's the thing, is it's all about, once the workers of the world unite and decide, you know what, the rich people can stop stealing our stuff, thank you very much, that's when things are going to get a lot more interesting. And I can see that happening. We are definitely on that trajectory. So stay sharp, stay alert, stay positive, and stay informed to the best of your ability. Thank you, and I'll see you later.